Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We have got another mathematics situation here that I wanted to run through ChatGPT, and I'm hoping people don't get the idea that this is the only source of information that I use. I've actually done quite a few videos on the topics that I'm also running through ChatGPT, but I wanted to show people how you can use ChatGPT effectively to get answers to questions. Because one of the things that I've run into a lot online is when we're discussing different mixed operations type problems where you've got multiplication mixed with addition, subtraction, so on, maybe division. I have a lot of people will come to me and say, they'll say something online like, "Well, I used my calculator, and my calculator gave me this answer, so it's got to be right." And so they're reinforcing an incorrect answer with a calculator. And the fact is, a lot of people don't realize that calculators work differently depending on what kind of calculator you have. So one of the questions that I just sent to ChatGPT, I said, "Why is it that my calculator gives me an answer of one time when I enter 60 plus 60 times 0 plus 1 equals?" I've been told the answer is 61, but my calculator says the answer is 1. What is going on? So let's get their answer from ChatGPT. The discrepancy you're observing arises from how the calculator processes mathematical operations, specifically operator precedence, order of operations. Here's a breakdown of what's happening. Mathematics follows a specific order of operations, often abbreviated as PEMDAS. Now, I've said it before, there's also BODMAS. They all mean the same thing. There's just different acronyms. But in North America, where I am, the most standard one is PEMDAS, and that stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division from left to right, and then addition and subtraction. So the correct way to evaluate 60 plus 60 times 0 plus 1, according to the order of operations, is first you have to handle the multiplication, which is 60 times 0, and that is equal to 0. And then you add and subtract. 60 plus 0 is 60. 60 plus 1 is 61. The answer is 61. So that is the correct answer. But why does your calculator say 1? Some calculators, especially older models, and actually the truth is just cheap ones, are those set to basic mode, process operations sequentially as entered, ignoring PEMDAS, or basically ignoring the order of operations. And what those calculators will do, if you try to enter them in as an expression, it'll take 60 plus 60, get 120. 120 times 0 is 0, and then 0 plus 1 is 1. That approach is incorrect, however, because it does not respect the order of operations. Now, the thing to keep in mind is a lot of these cheaper calculators, they're actually working in what's known as immediate execution mode. And I've mentioned that before in a previous video where I went into a lot more detail. You basically have immediate execution mode and you have expression mode. Most scientific calculators work in expression mode, where you can type in a long expression with multiplication, addition, subtraction, division, whatever, and then hit the equal sign, and that type of calculator remembers everything that you entered. But calculators that work at immediate execution mode, they're executing every operation as soon as you enter it. Which is not really the way you do it. Now, how to fix the issue? ChatGPT suggests you switch to scientific mode. Now, that's easier said than done. If you have a little cheap dollar store calculator from the Dollar Tree, you can't do anything to switch that to scientific mode. Now, if you have a Windows computer, and I'm going to show it to you guys, I'm actually going to show that to you right now. I'm going to open up my calculator app. We're going to go calculator. Now, normally, most people's computers, this calculator will default to standard mode. I usually switch it to scientific, but standard mode will show you exactly what's happening. 60 plus 60 times. Now, as soon as I hit the times, it's basically doing an equal sign. It's actually calculated it's added those two numbers together. And then if I say plus 1, look at that. 0 plus 1 is 1 because it's executing every mathematical operation as it's being entered. So that's actually incorrect. That's not the right answer. But this type of calculator mode works in immediate execution mode. So you can get around that by saying, okay, I know the order of operations. I know that I have to go 60 times 0 first. Then I can add 60, and then I can add 1, and you get 61, which is correct. But when you use a calculator in this type of calculator, it's depending on you to understand the order of operations. Now, however, if I switch it to scientific mode, watch how I can enter the entire expression, and it's being built as I enter it. See how that's happening? You've got it all. You've got it 60 plus 60 times 0 plus 1. Now it's just waiting for the equal sign, 61. And I have the entire expression. When I was in standard mode, the only thing you saw here was the 0 plus 1. So this is I know this is very confusing. A lot of people do not understand this. They just think a calculator is a calculator is a calculator. It's not that mathematics changed. It's not that there are different correct answers. It's that calculators work differently. And I know that's super confusing. Now, most modern calculators, and that's not always true either. Your dollar store calculators are not necessarily going to have a scientific mode. But ones that do, they do respect operator precedence. Now you can also use parentheses explicitly. So if your calculator has that ability, standard mode, I don't see any on this one. I don't see any parentheses at all. So I don't see that option. But you can use parentheses to also try to ensure the calculation. That works on some calculators, but not on all. But that would force some calculators, it would force them to do the 60 times 0 first. And I think this is maybe where some bad habits get started too, because a lot of people will argue that, well, you don't do the multiplication first unless it's in parentheses. No, that's not correct. It's just there's certain calculators that are programmed to work this way, but it doesn't say anything about the order of operations. Um, yeah, some calculators allow you to toggle between sequential processing and automatic mode. I'm not familiar with any that do that other than what I just showed you on the Windows computer. So your calculator is basically giving you 1 because it calculates sequentially rather than using the correct order of operations. The actual answer, when evaluated properly, is 61. Using a scientific calculator or explicitly adding parentheses will resolve the issue. And that's true, like I said, that's true in some cases. But when I'm looking at this calculator here, I don't see the option for using parentheses. But I just showed you how you can get the right answer. You just manually do the multiplication first. So yeah, that's a little. The ChatGPT answer is kind of okay. It's not as good as I wish it was because it kind of overlooks some things about calculators. But basically, what I wanted to explain to you is how this works, how you can ask questions of ChatGPT. Um, Probably not as good as asking a really good math teacher, but definitely one way to go. So hopefully that's been helpful. And I'd love to see you guys come back, watch some future videos. I'm gonna query ChatGPT about some other issues going forward. But I hope everybody's having a great day. Please like, share, subscribe, and as always, I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video. Thanks. Have a great day.